everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner, and this is my review for Married to Medicine Season 5, Episode 1. This is my first time reviewing this particular show, even though I have watched it all the seasons that it's been on. I've always been a fan of Married to Medicine. I just chipped my nails, so it's driving me crazy. I haven't had time to file up to file it. So I'm interested in how I'm going to review this show every episode. I love all the characters. I love all the ladies. Do I love all the ladies? I think I love all the ladies. We'll see how the season goes, though. First things first. How's everyone doing? Everybody doing okay? Yes, I'm going to do that in every video, even when I do multiple videos on multiple days, because not everyone watches every video that I do, because people who watch The Walking Dead might not watch Married to Medicine. So, how was your day today? Was your day good? Guess what I want you to do? Yep, put some comments in the bottom to see in the comment. Yes, I'm always fixing my hair too. Put comments in the comments section to let me know how your day was going today. It is currently it's midnight on Sunday night, Monday morning. So y'all all probably not even up, but let me know how your day went, okay? So this particular episode picked off kind of differently than I thought it would. So we see, Dr. Jackie getting up at like 5 a.m.-ish, maybe 5 a.m., 5:30. And of course, she's in the bed. She's by herself. So we know how last season her and Curtis were having issues because he felt like she wasn't there enough for him and she was just too busy. So, that was the whole thing last season. So it kind of pans to saying like, 3 weeks ago, and this was in May. So this was, 3 weeks ago from May of 2016. Was it 2016? Look, I can't remember the date. I should have wrote it down. But anywho, a while ago. And they show how news broke that Dr. Jackie's husband, Curtis, was caught cheating. Yes, Curtis' ass was out here cheating with some lady. And who was the blog that broke it? It was the Shade Room. I'm a follower of the Shade Room. So the Shade Room posted the photos of Curtis at some hotel with some woman who was not Jackie. And it was all over the blog. I remember when it happened. I remember it being in the news. So the episode, the season kind of picks up when all of that was happening. Curtis, your ass ain't nothing, Lord Jesus. So, they then show kind of how all of the women are reacting to the news that was on there. They have, Simone, Quad, Heavenly, and Toya are all reacting to it and everything. And of course, they're all shocked about it. They can't believe he would do that. How it was just shocking. Even Heavenly was saying, like, Dr. Jackie has to overcome breast cancer. She can't have children and she really wants children. So it's crazy to have her also have to deal with her husband cheating on her, all in the blogs, all in the news and everything. And, Dr. Jackie was saying how she was devastated when she found out, how she felt like he was going to call her and say, hey, it's going to be this story out, but it's not true. And he was going to kind of try to explain, what was going on. She's like, but that's not what happened. It was true. He was really out here cheating, out here thotting and bopping, as I call it. And, she says how when she got home, he wanted to talk about it and, talk. And she was like, I just said to him, I need you to pack your stuff and leave and give me some space. I just need some space. I need some space. And, I get that. Some women get pissed off and want to argue, fuss, and fight. Someone be like, fuck you, I want to kill you. And, she did what I would have assumed Dr. Jackie would have done anyway, because she's just so calm, cool, and collected, and sometimes you don't want to argue with someone. You just want to get them out your face so that you can have whatever emotion you want to have behind it. And, she was saying how when she, it's hard for her to see the pictures online. But what was harder than that she said, when you go through something like this, the world doesn't give you a break. You have to face it in social media, in this social media time or whatever. And she's like, I don't. My camera's being different. She then says, it didn't give her a break basically, and she was saying she thought that people would kind of be on her side, saying how she's the victim. She's like, well, nope, they were on the blogs and in the comments basically tearing her down, saying it was her fault. She was too busy. She didn't care about her marriage and basically blamed her. And she said when you read stuff like that, it's hard to not also blame yourself and say it is your fault. And she said that she also went through that. And just how she basically never thought that he would cheat on her. So, that's how the episode actually started off. And it was just kind of crazy because when I first heard the news, I was still like, Curtis, you put your ass out here doing cheating. But, things happen. So, the episode for me was basically each other cast member opinions on that, because each person, that's what it was about, as you finna see. Even though we had Toya and her husband, and Toya was talking about how her husband's working all these late hours and all these picking up all these hours at hospitals far away. He works 4 hours away because they got that dang $170,000 tax debt. But she's like, because they have been working on a budget and, he's been picking up these extra shifts, they've already paid off half of what they owe. So I'm like, okay, that's a lot. So, Toya also said that she was starting to feel weird about him being away, sleeping overnight because he works 4 hours away. And why was that? Because what Curtis did to Jackie. And Eugene was like, I'm not Curtis. Curtis might have forgot that he was married, but I'm not going to forget I'm married. I'm not out here cheating. And Toya was basically saying, I know, but, we only have sex 2 times a week. No, 2 times a month. So, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. And he's like, it's crunch time. It's time for us to buckle down and do things, and I'm working to pay off this debt. So do you want to have sex or you want to pay off this tax debt? But, what's going on with Jackie and Curtis ain't us. I'm saying? I'm not out here cheating, but I'm out here working. I'm not cheating. I have to go to work. You ain't bringing in no income. Maybe besides this married to medicine check, but that's about it. So from there, we see Quad. So Quad is going to her husband's practice. As we see, her husband, Dr. G, has his own new psychiatry practice. Bravo to him. Great, 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 great. And, his voice sounds just like, I don't know the guy's name, but it's the little person who played in Friday as Mr. Parker. He also played in Bad Santa as the guy who was the elf. Their voice sounds exactly alike. I wonder if they really they just sound like to me. Anywho, so she's saying how proud she is of her husband, with him starting his own new practice. And people don't know, starting a practice is hard. You can be a doctor and you could even have a little bit of money to rent space in the building, but getting it together is still difficult. She brings up how she helped him get the office basically decorated in 10 days, and he like, look, we both did that together, okay? And from there, they discussed Jackie and Curtis. And, he was saying how he just hopes Curtis can, achieve happiness with Jackie. Dr. G ass got on my nerve in this whole thing because Quad was saying how, it's no excuses for what Curtis did, and, and then she's like, if you wasn't happy with me, would you go out and cheat? And of course he says no, because why would your husband tell you yes? If you tell me yes, you a fucking idiot, okay? So of course he said no. But then his old monkey ass starts to say how it's Jackie's, it's up to Jackie to fix it. It's up to her to forgive him and take some accountability into what happened, how she played a part in it. Now, I call bullshit on that, because my thing is, even if you're not happy with your spouse, that does not mean that you go out and cheat. If you are not happy with your spouse, you can leave, you can talk about it, but you don't go cheat and just say, well, I wasn't happy, so I cheated. If your ass wasn't that happy, you should have left me, okay? So Quad like, the fuck you mean? Jackie, it's Jackie's responsibility to fix it. No. She's like, Jackie didn't cheat on Curtis. And she didn't. It's up to Curtis to fix it, because Curtis is the one who fucked it up. That just got me all up my arms. It's crazy how men say dumb stuff like that. So we go from that to Dr. Heavenly's situation. And, her husband was also talking about Dr. Jackie. And her husband was like, that's their business. We're not going to bring their situation into this household. We're not going to bring it in here. And Heavenly starts to say that when it first happened, she was mad at her husband as if it happened to her. She said, I felt so strongly about it, I brought it into my home and I was mad at my husband. And then she was like, would you still be friends with Curtis? And he's like, yeah, because what they did ain't got nothing to do with me and his friendship. And men are like that. Men are just, men stick with men, it's stupid. So, he then says, if a woman cheat on a man, the man shouldn't stay. She said, if I cheated on you, would you stay with me and we could work it out? And he was like, no, if you cheated, I would not accept that. I would leave. Absolutely. He said, that's something I wouldn't tolerate. He then says, but Jackie should stay with Curtis and they should try to work it out because what? And Heavenly was like, but you just said if I cheated that you wouldn't stay with me. And he was like, yeah, but men and women are different. I'm like, did that really come out? I mean, he really said that. It was crazy to me that that's how men think. And he just said, like, he felt like men and women are different. If a woman cheats, it's harder for men to accept it. I mean, it's true, but it's still fucked up. Okay, it's stupid. She then asked him, would you ever cheat on me? And then he basically said, men every day see other women who they think are attractive. It happens every day, all day. There are other pretty women. And she was like, if you ever cheat on me, you gonna find that bitch in the ditch. And I'm like, Heavenly. She like, I ain't scared to go to jail. If he cheat on me, I'm gonna, go off on the woman. It's all her fault. I'm coming after the woman. Even though she didn't have vows to me, I'm coming after her. Heavenly. You sounded really stupid. I felt like you're gonna get a lot of flack for saying that. Even if you believe it's true, how are you seeing on national TV that if your husband cheated on you, you put more blame on the woman than your husband? Bitch, you sound crazy. So next we see, yes, I'm going by really fast. I'm trying to get it all over and done with. We see Simone and her family, because again, each person, we're just talking about Jackie and Curtis, so I can whip through this real fast. Simone and her family, we see that they still have the two houses, where Simone is spending more time in the house closer to her job, and her husband and her boys are staying more in the house closer to their school, which it can go either way. We see how her older son is going to Howard University. Bravo, bravo, bravo. And they were basically just, they didn't talk about the whole Jackie Curtis situation. They didn't. I think the most they brought up is how, because Simone spends time away, it can get weird sometimes because she's at the other house. Anywho, so their whole thing was basically how their son is going off to college, and Simone is saying, like, I want you to find a pretty girl, who's studying to be a doctor, and, make her your boo. And Dad was like, no, you can find a pretty girl, but find multiple pretty girls and just date around. Don't get too serious too fast. Date as many people as you want to. And Simone, like, you want him out here just sleeping with different people? And he was like, no, dating someone doesn't mean that you're sleeping with someone, which is true. I agree with that. So that was the most of them talking about the whole Jackie Curtis situation. We see Heavenly talking to her daughter. Basically, it was a boring scene to me. We see her son is also away at college. He's about an hour away from them, and she's like, how he doesn't come home often. I wouldn't either. Heavenly is batshit crazy half the time. And, she was talking to her daughter, who was writing a song, and the song is going to be called I'm Not Perfect. And she said she kind of did it after her mom, because her mom thinks she's perfect. She's saying how when she goes away to college, she does not want her mom visiting her often. Her mom's like, well, I want to come for like 2 weeks. She was like, 2 weeks is too long. No. Her daughter is very adorable. She has a smart mom, too. She gonna have an attitude when she get older. Let's hope she don't be as bad as her mama. But they both do admit how they can sometimes be mean. They then show like old scenes of crazy things Heavenly has said to people just over the years, and kind of how mean-spirited and bitchy she used to be. And she said that she's trying to work on it. So, it is what it is. Do I believe Heavenly do I think Heavenly is crazy? Yes. But sometimes she has good intentions. She just does it the wrong way. And I think that's what she needs to learn how to do better. They show how Toya and Quad meet up for drinks. And, it was a weird situation. Toya saying how Quad has been very supportive since her and Eugene has been going through the whole tax situation. And, they then go into discussing how Quad don't want to have kids yet. Her husband, and then Toya like, well, he probably got you doing all this work at the office because you won't give him kids. He wouldn't do all that or let you do all that if y'all had children. And, Quad is saying like, well, I feel like I already do too much and I wouldn't have time to be a mother. It's like I do everything. And then she was like, does Eugene take the trash out? And Toya was like, of course he take the trash out. I don't touch no damn trash. She's like, what? You take the trash out? And she's like, honey, I do everything around the house. I'm looking like, you take the trash out? Like, I'm single. So yes, I take my own trash out. But when I was in relationships, take the trash out, change all the light bulbs, kill all the bugs, carry all the heavy. That's this kind of stuff men do. That's what my dad did for my mom too. You do manly things. But Kwai was like, she do that stuff, and that's why she feels like she does so much. And I'm like, okay, and that's what you say. So Toya brings up how her and Eugene only had sex twice a month. And sometimes she feels like he doesn't want her because of that. But I'm like, girl, he working to pay off tax debt. He not just not sleeping with you because he don't want you. That man tired, okay? He's tired. He working because, again, you don't work, Toya. Let's be honest. Toya then goes into how she feels like Curtis was never Jackie's number one priority. Toya ass is just stupid. She then says how he had a reason to cheat, even though the cheating wasn't right, but because Jackie didn't treat him as her number one priority, he had, leeway to cheat. Quiet was just like, girl, bye. You sound stupid. She was like, so Jackie should lose her ambition just because she's a wife. That's crazy. A woman should be able to be busy and work too, because if she was a man, they would praise her as a man if she was that busy. And that's true. So many other men doctors are busy, like Eugene. Busy, and he's busy, and it ain't no big issue. Toya just want more sex, but she's still not out here trying to cheat on her husband. So I'm like, Toya sound dumb, But again, if Dr. Jackie was a man, it wouldn't be an issue. The wife would just have to deal with the husband being busy. But because Jackie's a woman, she should be submissive and stick. No. She should do her damn job. Okay. So from there, we see Heavenly has plans a Waiting to Exhale party. Now, for all the old heads who know what Waiting to Exhale is, it was a movie with Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett, Laura Devine, and Layla Rashawn, where Vivica Fox, Lord Jesus, where Angela Bassett's character husband cheats on her and leaves her after all these years of marriage. It was crazy. So she's having a Waiting to Exhale party because in the movie, the four friends get together when this happens and they're supportive of the person going through this divorce. I think it was a great idea. Absolutely positive. I think it was really, really smart. So we see that, Heavenly has brought like 5 different men, and my friend just keeps texting me stuff. Rose and Charlotte, leave me alone. I'm trying to get off my screen. So she had like 5 models there, men who was all cute and they weren't all that cute, but for good bodies who was gonna be their helpers or whatever. So when each lady got there, they was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" Of course, they were surprised. Toya for some reason had oil in her purse that she can rub on people. Toya, that was weird. But when Jackie get there, she looked and she was like, "Is this a bachelorette party?" Because the men had took their shirt off, so she's like, "What's going on?" So they bring her in. The one guy pick her up, take her to a chair, and she's like, "Just don't get no oil on my dress." And they put her in the chair. They like feeding the French fries. They rubbing her feet. They rubbing her shoulders. They all over her. And Jackie was kind of, when he took her to the chair, at first she was okay. At first she looked like she was okay, but as they started to touch on her more, massaging her and and they weren't being inappropriate touching her, but they were just massaging on her legs, her hands, her shoulders, and she felt uncomfortable. You could see she felt uncomfortable. Heavenly more wanted her to let loose and have fun, and but that ain't Jackie. Okay, it's not Jackie. And, they, the men leave, and then the ladies are all sitting around talking. So Heavenly saying how, I want you just to have a release, Jackie. Just, yell and scream, laugh or do whatever. But Jackie's like, that's not how I work. I process things internally. And a lot of people do that. I do that sometimes too, where I just don't want to say nothing. I want to think about what's going on, and when I'm ready to express it, I will, but it's in my own personal time. And she says, like, when you have been broken and humiliated, at times you don't want to talk. And that's her thing. Like, y'all want her to say stuff, but she's like, I don't have anything to say because I feel so broken. Toya then come up with her monkey ass saying, oh my God, Rose, y'all gonna be crazy. Toya then comes saying, well, Jackie, you kind of gave him permission when you said that, you hope he finds someone to be happy with. And Quiet was like, that ain't what she said. What she said was, if he can't find happiness in me, I hope he can find someone to be happy with. She said, but that didn't mean go cheat. That means you end one situation and then go wherever else to find your happiness. I don't mean go cheat. And, Jackie says, I know we had our issues, but but to say I gave him permission to cheat, it's not accurate. Toya was like, yeah, that's absurd. And it was. Toya sounded like a complete and utter idiot saying that to Jackie. And, Quiet was like, when you're married to a doctor, at times you come in second. And that's just how it is being the spouse of a doctor. She was like, sometimes the doctor will put their patients above their spouse. I agree 50-50. I feel like if your patient is dying and you have to leave your spouse to go to the hospital, abso-freaking-lutely. I don't feel like you should always come second, But I think it's true that there are going to be times as a spouse of a doctor, you will come second sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But that comes with being a spouse of other people in certain positions where people depend on you for something. You know what I'm saying? I completely get that. And it's usually doctors, lawyers, hell, bridge builders. Because if a bridge collapses, I need your husband to come build me a new bridge. Okay? So, Quad, Toya and Heavenly is like, that ain't true. I don't think it's every time for that I should be second. I'm never second. Quad comes up to say how, in marriage at one point or the other, there was something that you wanted that your spouse wasn't giving you, that you needed, but you weren't getting it. That doesn't mean that you then have the right to go out and cheat. It doesn't. And she was like, even for us here, there have been things within our marriages where we needed something and we didn't get it at one point or another. So did we have the right to go out and cheat? Toya says, my job is to be my husband's everything. And when Jackie replied, she didn't reply. In Jackie's confession, she said, of course it's Toya's job to be her husband's everything, because everything she has, she gets it from her husband. I said, bitch, if that wasn't the biggest slice of truth I have ever heard on this damn show, I was like, that is so true. Of course Toya is Eugene's everything, because that's true. Everything Toya gets, she gets it from Eugene. Toya has nothing outside of her husband and her children. She doesn't. And it doesn't mean that she's less of a person because she's just a wife and a mother. But that's just her truth. You are a wife and a mother. So yes, you are his everything, because what else do you have? I was like, oh my God. Quad brings up if her husband cheated, that she would leave. She's like, I don't think I would be able to stay. And Toya says if her husband cheated, she wouldn't be able to leave simply because they have 2 children together, so it's not as easy for her to leave. You couldn't leave because all you have is your husband. And she don't have nothing else. She doesn't have her own income. She doesn't. And it's sad, but that's how some women get stuck in these marriages. It's because they put everything into them husbands and they don't have their own nothing. That's the crazy part. And she also says how, of course, Quiet can leave. It's easy for Quiet to leave because all her and Dr. G got is 2 dogs. Bitch, I said, ooh, Lord Jesus. Heavenly then goes into, if Daddy, she called her husband Daddy, if Daddy cheated on me, I'm not leaving. I'm going to go after the woman. You know, it ain't his fault. If he cheated, it is not his fault. It is that woman's fault. She made him do it. She forced him to do it. He would never hurt me on purpose. He would never do that to me. He would never do that to my children. And it was crazy to me because as they're all saying this stuff, I'm like, y'all are sitting here talking about y'all hypothetical situations while Jackie is sitting there sitting in the mud of that bullshit. So for me, it took a turn to where I'm looking like y'all don't even realize that y'all are giving opinions on what y'all might do when y'all haven't been through it. And Jackie's saying like, y'all talking about how y'all would leave, how, you know, all this stuff and this hypothetical bullshit, and Jackie is living the reality of it. And she brings up, she was like, you know, until any one of y'all in here have walked in my shoes, y'all can't say what y'all would do. You know, they then asked her, you know, do you plan to stay in your marriage? And she was like, you know, if you ask me in 10 minutes, I would say yes. But ask me in 20 minutes, I say no. Because again, it changes from moment to moment. And she's like, you know, seeing the man I thought I loved, no, seeing the man who I felt loved me unconditionally, you know, make the decision to, no, make the decision he made. And then the way I found out, it crushed me. And she was like, you know, but you don't stop loving the person for that. And I completely agree, because when someone does something that hurts your feelings, you don't stop loving them. You just get another emotion, which is either hurt, pain, anger, but the love doesn't initially go away. It doesn't. And I think that's why Jackie said, I need you to leave and give me space, because she was having different emotions. And she could decide to divorce her husband. She could decide to forgive her husband. But her point was, you don't just lose the love because they did something in your heart that you might feel at that moment is unforgivable, unbelievable, and just so hurtful. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So the episode ended basically with Heavenly saying, you know, I did this to just bring us together to, you know, try to help you make sure that you know you're supported. And she had these shirts called the Fab Five. And she's like, I don't know who came up with the Fab Five, but, you know, I got us all shirts, you know, and it said Fab Five. It had all their names on the back. And it was a very touching moment. And I love the support that they are giving Dr. Jackie, even though Toya and Heavenly sounded real stupid. You know, I'm just, especially Heavenly saying if her husband cheated, it'll be the woman's fault. And Toya dumbass saying, you know, it was kind of Jackie's fault. So that was my review for the Married to Medicine season premiere. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.